Assalamu alaikum.
Privacy is a two-way street, demanding not only the safeguarding of one's own personal space, but also the respect for the privacy of others. In the realm of Islamic Sharia, the sanctity of an individual's home and personal life is held in high regard. Islamic teachings underscore the significance of preserving one's privacy while cautioning against prying into the affairs of others. If you're uncertain about what aspects to keep private in Islam, then today's Cybersphere episode is tailor-made for you. Protect your faith. 12 things to keep private in Islam. Number 12, sins and repentance. In Islam, sins and repentance are intertwined concepts emphasizing the significance of seeking forgiveness from Allah. The Quran, in numerous verses, underscores the private nature of repentance. Surah Al-Araf 7:31 warns against displaying one's sins, highlighting that sins are not meant for public exposure. The act of seeking appreciation or showing off sins contradicts the essence of repentance and may inadvertently encourage others to follow suit. Keeping sins hidden is regarded as an act of obedience to Allah's command, aligning with the Quranic principle of concealing transgressions. When you do something wrong, admitting it to yourself and telling Allah you're sorry is important. The Quran says you should think about your mistakes inside yourself and try to fix them. Writing about your mistakes or telling everyone about them is not a good idea. It's better to say sorry to Allah quietly. You don't have to tell everyone what you did wrong. Just tell Allah and He will forgive you if you really mean it. So in simple words, when you make a mistake, keep it between you and Allah and say sorry to Him in your heart. Number 11, charitable acts and zakat. In Islam, charitable acts and fulfilling zakat obligations are highly esteemed, embodying the principles of compassion, solidarity, and social justice. Charity, both through voluntary acts and the mandatory zakat, plays a pivotal role in addressing societal inequalities and providing for those in need. While charitable deeds can be done publicly or privately, the Prophet Muhammad emphasized the profound virtue of discreet giving. He stated that those who hide their charitable actions so completely that even their left hand is unaware of what their right hand has spent will be among those granted shade on the day of judgment. Keeping charitable acts private safeguards the dignity of recipients, ensuring that the intention remains untainted by the desire for praise or recognition. Fulfilling zakat obligations in private reflects a profound connection with Allah, highlighting a selfless commitment to the values of compassion and empathy in service to humanity. This discreet approach resonates with the core teachings of the Quran and the Prophet, underlining the importance of sincere and humble contributions for the greater good of the community. Number 10. Others' sins and weakness. Islam strongly opposes fault-finding, deeming it harmful and a breach of privacy. The Quran advocates covering others' faults, promising those who do so divine covering in this life and the hereafter. The Prophet Muhammad equated fault-finders with agents of corruption. Fault-finding, rooted in weaknesses like lack of faith and hypocrisy, is warned against, with the Quran explicitly prohibiting backbiting and discouraging actions leading to social disunity. Islam encourages addressing faults privately for rectification, but condemns fault-finding for its negative societal impact. The Quranic injunctions emphasize unity and discourage practices that spread pessimism. Islam's perspective aligns with principles of constructive criticism, self-improvement, and preserving human dignity, creating a culture of respect and harmony. The saying, "Anyone who covers a believer's faults, God will cover theirs," underscores the importance of preserving individuals' dignity and promoting a compassionate society. Quran 24:22. Number 9. Personal development goals. Generally, personal growth is considered a natural and commendable aspect of a motivated life. However, Islam advises believers to keep these aspirations private for several reasons. Firstly, maintaining the privacy of personal development goals aligns with the concept of sincerity, ikhlas, in Islam. The Quran emphasizes that actions, including self-improvement efforts, should be solely for the sake of Allah and not for seeking praise or approval from others. Sharing personal development goals can lead to external influence, potentially diluting sincerity and inviting validation-seeking tendencies. Privately pursuing growth helps maintain genuine intentions, avoiding arrogance, and prioritizing one's relationship with Allah. Islam emphasizes a sacred space for self-discovery, urging internal motivation without the need for public acknowledgement. By keeping personal development private, individuals not only align with Islamic principles, but also safeguard themselves from the evil eye, a concept deeply rooted in Islamic beliefs. This approach fosters sincere spiritual growth, rooted in a direct connection with Allah, while minimizing the risks associated with external influences and the potential negative energy that may come from sharing such goals publicly. Number 8. Family conflicts and resolutions. In Islam, the Quran emphasizes the significance of family as the foundation of society. Families comprise individuals with diverse minds and behaviors, each unique in their approach to handling conflicts. The Quran acknowledges that conflicts may arise within families, and the emphasis lies in resolving these matters confidentially within the family unit. A strong family can withstand any adversity. Opening family issues to external opinions risks transforming minor problems into major issues. The family, being a tightly knit bond, is encouraged to navigate conflicts with love and unity. Islam provides examples of familial conflicts from the lives of prophets, emphasizing that even the most virtuous individuals faced challenges within their families. The key lies in maintaining confidentiality, addressing conflicts internally, and fostering a sense of understanding and forgiveness. By keeping family matters private, individuals uphold the sanctity of the familial bond and contribute to the stability and harmony within the larger societal structure. Number 7. Gossips. Gossiping, condemned in Islam, involves discussing others behind their backs, causing discontent and uncertainty. Recognized by expressing subjects about someone, it violates privacy and disrupts social trust. The Quran explicitly forbids backbiting, likening it to eating a dead brother's flesh, and the Prophet warns it's worse than adultery. Gossiping harms individuals and society, violating dignity and leading to social instability. Islam promotes avoiding gossip through piety, awareness of consequences, and God's constant presence. Exceptions exist for justice, correcting a sinner, legal proceedings, seeking counsel, or expressing apparent traits. Emphasis remains on fostering a society built on trust, respect, and unity, discouraging harmful practices. If you hear gossip, keep it private to preserve societal harmony. Number 6. Personal worships. Islam places great emphasis on maintaining the privacy of personal worship, rituals, and spiritual struggles. The essence of individual acts of worship, such as prayer and supplication, lies in sincerity and a direct connection with Allah. Individual acts of worship, such as prayer and supplication, are meant for personal reflection and connection with the divine, not for public display or exhibition. The Quran, Surah Al-Mu'minun 23:2, states, "Successful indeed are the believers who are humble in their prayers," highlighting the importance of humility, privacy, and sincerity in personal worship. Islam encourages believers to cultivate sincerity, ikhlas, in their worship, ensuring that prayers are offered with a genuine heart and an earnest desire for closeness to Allah. This private and sincere approach to worship is key to the spiritual growth and fulfillment of believers. Number 5. Health and wellness. Second to faith, no one has ever been given a greater blessing than health. Within the illuminating verses of the Holy Quran, a profound principle is proclaimed: "We have honored the children of Adam," 17:70. This divine decree transcends the boundaries of color, gender, and belief, underscoring the inherent value bestowed upon each individual. Within this sacred recognition lies a divine call to safeguard the complete health and well-being of every soul. Health challenges can be sensitive and personal, and revealing them publicly may lead to undue scrutiny, judgment, or gossip. Islam emphasizes compassion and respect for others, urging believers to avoid exposing vulnerabilities that could potentially be exploited or misunderstood. By keeping health matters private, individuals can focus on their well-being without external pressures or unwanted attention. Number 4. Private conversations. In Islam, the sanctity of personal conversations is paramount, emphasizing the preservation of confidentiality, especially in matters of sensitivity. Revealing secrets is not merely about defaming others, but extends to exposing concealed affairs and violating privacy, an act condemned in Islamic teachings. The concept of sin covering is emphasized, aligning with God's attribute of concealing people's faults. Prophet Muhammad equated revealing immoral secrets to causing societal harm akin to expanding prostitution, underscoring the severity of exposing others' faults. Islamic instructions mandate the right of fault covering among Muslims, encouraging the concealment of faults to prevent public disgrace or harm to public chastity. Thus, learning to keep private conversations private becomes integral in adhering to Islamic principles and respecting the sanctity of personal matters. Number 3. One's good deeds. As Prophet Muhammad stated, actions are judged by intentions, so each man will have what he intended. In Islam, keeping one's good deeds private is rooted in the principle of sincerity, ikhlas. The Quran emphasizes the importance of pure intentions, stating that actions are judged by motives. Keeping good deeds private prevents the risk of showing off riya and seeking praise from others, fostering sincerity in worship. Islam encourages believers to perform acts of virtue solely for the pleasure of Allah, reinforcing the concept of selfless devotion. By maintaining privacy in good deeds, individuals preserve the sanctity of their intentions, ensuring that acts of charity, worship, or kindness are undertaken with a genuine desire to please Allah rather than to gain worldly approval. Number 2. Financial status. In Surah Al-Baqarah 2:264, the Quran admonishes believers, "Do not invalidate your charities with reminders or injury, as one who spends to be seen by people and does not believe in Allah and the last day." In Islam, maintaining financial privacy is stressed for reasons of modesty, respect, and societal harmony. Islam views wealth as a test and emphasizes accountability in its management. Keeping financial matters private prevents envy and undue influence. The Prophet Muhammad cautioned against ostentatious displays to avoid negative attention. Preserving financial privacy aligns with humility and gratitude, discouraging arrogance and superiority. It ensures the sincerity of charitable deeds, preventing the disruption caused by seeking praise. Lastly, maintaining financial privacy fosters societal harmony, discouraging comparisons and judgments. Islam promotes focusing on individual responsibilities rather than dwelling on others' material possessions. Number 1. Personal relationships. In Islam, the sanctity of personal relationships, especially within the context of marriage, is safeguarded by the Quranic principles emphasizing privacy and dignity. The Quran underscores the bond between spouses, describing them as garments for each other, signifying protection, intimacy, and concealment of vulnerabilities. This metaphorical expression implies a unique closeness where private matters are shielded from the gaze of others, promoting an environment of trust and sanctity within the marital relationship. Furthermore, the Quran emphasizes the need to make not your own hands contribute to your destruction. Quran 2:195, suggesting that preserving personal matters, including the intricacies of one's relationships, is essential for individual and collective well-being. Islam, recognizing the potential harm in exposing personal relationships, encourages believers to keep the sanctity of these bonds within the confines of the relationship itself. By adhering to these principles, individuals cultivate strong, resilient relationships based on trust, mutual respect, and the understanding that certain aspects of one's personal life are meant to remain private. Do not enter any houses except your own homes unless you are sure of their occupants' consent. 24:27. As mentioned at the beginning, maintaining a two-way path of privacy is the best approach for a personally fulfilling life. Being a virtuous individual and adhering to the principles of religion involves respecting both personal and others' privacy. While keeping these aspects private, it's acceptable to share knowledge that could help others accumulate good deeds. So, without any hesitations, share it with your contacts and let them also learn about the things to keep private in Islam.